I spent hours digging into trends for Canada at the World Juniors, and here is everything you need to know. Canada's done well in pre-tournament games so far, but pre-tournament doesn't necessarily correlate with success at the tournament, but it is a positive. However, when they have swept U Sports in pre-tournament play, they have made it to the final 5 times and won 3 out of the 6 times this has happened. The roster is all CHL players, except for Bradley Nadeau, who is playing in the AHL, and they have an average roster age of 18.4. And 2 of the 3 goalies for Canada are already drafted. But Canada's success at the tournament actually more closely correlates with the inclusion of draft year eligible players, the ones that are exceptional compared to including already drafted players. So in the case of this year, they're leaving one exceptionally talented player out in Michael Misa, but they also have a couple of exceptionally talented draft year players on the roster. They're also leaving out a few highly drafted players. So going all the way back to 2015, and man, I got really into these numbers. I took all these factors that you see below, added a weight to them, and then scored them back to 2015, and this year's roster, well, it's not as good as gold medal winning ones from the past, but it's equal to or better than ones that have won silver. Now, Canada would have actually had an exceptional score if they included Michael Misa. So they took a bit of a gamble on this roster, but one that I think is reasonable enough because they probably tried to build this for 5-on-5 penalty kill power play, an overall team, and realized that Michael Misa, they didn't need him, but this roster massively hinges on their exceptional draft year players stepping up and having a good tournament. Exceptional draft year eligible players have actually been more valuable to Team Canada than players who have already been drafted. But again, we looked at all of these factors and weighed them out. So to recap everything here, this team is still relying on exceptional draft year talents. They didn't leave all of them out. They actually have several there. They have many players on the roster who have already been drafted. They swept U Sports and did really well. They've had some pre-tournament success. They have guys with experience at the tournament. So the only negative they had is they left one exceptional talent out. Now, they most likely felt that the role that Misa would end up playing on this team, that was going to be served by players who right now are going to be able to do it better. Or the role that Misa would serve on this team, they actually aren't going to need that because they're trying to go with 4 lines that are cohesive. So yes, they have taken a slight gamble, but this team should at least, based on trends alone, get a bronze or silver medal in this tournament. But if Canada ends up with a lack of scoring, they will have egg on their face for leaving Misa out. But a team's success can't just rely on one singular player in this exact position.